Yeah, man, this is Danny Dreadlock telling you say the time has come for the lion story to be heard, you know? Here, there, and everywhere. Have no fear. Lion story. And this is the lion voice. Seeing production every time.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice. Yeah, I'm a Gideon. Cataclysmic forces, good over evil. Yeah, for the ghetto youth worldwide. Yeah. I see the youths nowadays, they growing up. Wanna know the truth, they wanna know what's up. They got no fear now, they'll call you bluff. They asking questions cause they had enough. Why? Some gone stray cause times is tough. Some walk with the machine, ready to bust. I'ma give you them things get dangerous. No, in the ghetto things get dangerous. On the battlefield things get dangerous. Them carry RPG, M16. Got a problem to wipe out your whole team. For American dream, them get scanned and lost. And put us into the ghetto, try abandon us. Cause we the remnant of the first sons of Kush. Warrior tribes, we not the ones to push. Just look into them history, see we rebellious. That's cause them systems so unjust. Take the shackles and chains, change them to handcuffs. Release your physical frame, them want your brain. Them a vampire looking for blood to drain. Highly Selassie come and break every chain. Bob Marley tell them, now we tell them again, yo. We tell them this ain't a game, but this a Armageddon, you got to mentally train. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, but this is heaven on earth, or go burn in the flames. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, I say I gotta play your hate cause some things gotta change. I tell them this ain't a game, but this a time for African people to rise. I tell them earthquake, hurricane, tornado, the wind blows and brings rains. I got the whole west coast in flames. Melt the Arctic poles and flood the seas. Hurricane force winds blow down the trees. Whole earth feel the pain when the bombs release. Read your psalms, release David prophecies. Marcus Garvey said look to the east. Rastafari is the prince of peace. And Haile Selassie I come conquer the beast, yo. They trap the youths with them luxuries to get the ladies. Gotta drive Mercedes, people killing babies. Try to keep us down with AIDS. We descended from kings, now we surround with plague. Man, I kill them brother man to drive the Escalades. I can't stand Babylon and all the mess they made. Teach the youths that them best when them rest in the grave. Wolf trick the lion, got the lion a shade. Can't reach Mount Zion unless you learn to behave. Got to stand firm cause these is perilous days. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chasmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of the Lion's Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome to Lion Talk Live, quickly becoming one of our more popular shows on the Lion Voice Network. This is the show where we bring the frontline workers, the people that are doing the work, to the fore to talk about the work that they are doing. Last strong, we were in St. Croix, full joying a story of Rastafari rising in St. Croix. We were wondering why midnight all of these reggae bands came out of St. Croix. We get an idea about the Rastafari energy that bubbled in St. Croix through the music, which spawned many works of power. I will be in St. Croix, and we will be taking the Lion Voice Network to St. Croix. So exclusive footage. We're going to have some exclusive things that will be on the Patreon. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, support $10, $5, whatever you can. We're trying to make this platform sustainable. So we give thanks
to all of the Lion Pride, which is quickly expanding. We're gone past 1,900 subscribers, family. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by November 1st, before the coronation. Help us, like, make sure you push the like button, subscribe, share out the thing. We're going to build the #1 Rastafari platform on the second largest search engine on the planet. So people, this is not going to stop. We're just getting started. We have a very special guest tonight. We're going to continue with our series around the Caribbean. Now we are going to head to the tourist capital within the Caribbean, which is, guess where? We are going to Bahamas, family, and I have a very special guest. I don't know the brethren personally, but we've been working in the similar circles, and it's been a joy to even know that the brethren reach out, been watching the content and say, you know what, I want to tell the story of Rastafari in the Bahamas. He was watching our live that we did with Ras Negus in Montego Bay. It just so happened that at the very moment the brethren call, I was iting who we were going to bring on the Lion Talk Live. So I'm showing the item how the majesty is moving right now. It's in the mystic that this thing is happening. So we give thanks. So it's a joy. This brethren is a Nyabinghi, a priest holding the priesthood order within the order of the Nyabinghi. This brethren is also doing some powerful work in terms of the unity of the Rastafari mansions. We're going to talk about that. Who am I talking about, family? We are talking about none other than Ras Marcus. Blessing, family.
Greetings, family. Rastafari.
Yes,
one perfect love. Yes, I.
Royal greetings.
Yes, I.
Isis.
Yeah, man. I'd like to greet the family them with a word of prayer, you know, open up with a prayer and the Psalms, you know. If that's okay with the Quasi.
Yeah, man, this is a Rastafari platform, you know. We don't try small down who we are. We live how we live.
Rastafari. Yeah, man. One perfect love.
Block up your sound, King.
Yes, sir. Eli, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, and Empress Man and I. I open up with the Ethiopian prayer, you know. Bata Janai, Besame Metna, Same Kiris, Mengista Timta, Bukari Besame, Indio Nech, Indio Bemadio, and Juliet Narachidin, Sitting Sierra, Berlachin, the Quevelin, in a Bedalone, and the Quen Deminol, for Defatanum, Atigaban, Akitu Adenen, NG Mengista, Yantinatana, Adama Sagana, Lizeli, Alimo, Amen, Ermawi, Ali Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. For behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren and sisters to dwell together in unity, with like the precious ointment upon the head that runneth down in a bed, that ran down the skates of a garment, as the dew of Hermon, as the dew ascended upon the mountain of Zion. For their brightly eyes, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, commanded the blessing and life forevermore. Trying to give thanks, you know, coming from Bahamas, you know, over land and sea, you know, Rastafari to the world. Yes,
give thanks. Give thanks for coming on the platform this evening. We're very excited to get into the history of Rastafari in the Bahamas and the story. But how we do it here on the Lion Voice, on Lion Talk Live, how we deal with this thing is that we go into the history. You know, we don't want to just be two talking heads up here. You know, talking. We want the people to know who are the people who are doing the work. So please give us a history. Where was the I born, and what is you know, what was your journey to Rastafari?
Yes, greetings from the Rastafari. Yes, I'm Priest Ras Marcus from Bahamas. I was born in the Bahamas. I grew up in the Bahamas as what they call a Bahamian, you know, before I know myself as a Ethiopian born. And I went to school. I went to a primary school called Stephen Dillett Primary, and then from there I went to high school called Government High. And moving through as a teenager, you know, as teenagers, you know, you tend to do teenager stuff, you know, like more times, like hang on the blocks with your brethren, and you know, even though my family had me like in like Satan groups like Boys Brigade and Scouts and thing like that, Royal Rangers and thing like that, you know, but you always tend to hang out with the brethren in the community. Say, saying share that love, you know, because true, you know, like the brethren them share your love in the community, you know. So we had a little gang, you know, we had a little gang, you know, and so I used to partake of that gang, you know.
Was the I
But
Rastafari at that time, or this was the I born as a Rastafari, brethren?
no, I man wasn't born, I wasn't blessed to born as a Rastafari brethren, but I man, no, I was not Rasta at this time.
Yes,
I was
okay.
just,
I
I
just want
just
to be
was,
clear. I just want to be
yes,
clear, family.
no, yes, like I,
Rastafari was in the I heart, but you were not within the
right.
liberty. Yes, I.
Yes, like I say, like one time just giving a history about myself, like
Yes.
no, but Rastafari was in the, but it was in my community. Nah,
Okay.
Rastafari was in my community, and
Okay.
you know, Rastafari always stood out. Even when I was a youth, Rastafari always stood out because then you know Rastafari is always peculiar, always different. Like you know, like they had one over in the Bahamas, the Rastaman had as I growing up, they had one bar. You know, like man used to walk through the article bop and you know what I mean, and the IC, and so all the youths them like we were as youths, we used to mimic them, you know, walking
Yeah.
and Irie and you know what I mean, and you know, yeah man, and shaking our natty and you know like, and then you know like everybody loved Bob Marley, you know Bob
Yes.
Marley was dope, like Brian A.
What was
Even
this on the
playing,
main island? Was this in NASA or give us?
yeah, right.
Huh?
This was yeah. When I grew up okay, like how the Bahamas, it have it have a capital islands, it have a couple of islands, but it have plenty keys also. But Nassau New Providence is like the main capital. So I grew up in the capital. So as a youth in the capital, like I say at my time, Rasta was done around. So moving through, like I was saying, like as I was in school and coming out of school, you know, I spent like a little time hanging on the blocks, you know, chilling, you know, like you know, sometimes like it was a protect the turf thing, you know what I mean? Like protect the turf. You got brethren living on the next side and you live on this side, so we feel that we have to protect our turf, you know what I mean? From brethren who coming over trying to violate. But on one occasion, I used to know I used to notice like the Rasta in the community. I had Satan elder Rasta brethren like Elder Jabalti. At that time, I didn't know of the movement, but what he was in. But as I came familiar and go to and take up the liberty of Rastafari, I became aware he had a movement called Kings of Kings Missionary.
Okay.
It was similar to almost to like the 12 tribe of Israel. You see
Okay.
it? I see. So like he was he used to live through my corner. He used to live through my corner, and he had a workshop. He had a craft shop where he used to do carpentry work and everything, and teach youths them, you know what I mean, and teach
All right.
brethren and make
Stick
right.
up in your childhood. Was it working class, middle class, or upper class? How would I classify the I chad? You know,
I would say it was working class.
working class.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
inner city vibration.
right. In a city, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. You know, your family coming up, struggling, you know, surviving, hustling, trying to take care. It was like me and two other siblings, you know, my
Okay.
mother, yeah, you know. So, but like I say at that time, it was Rasta in my community, and I used to always watch them. Like I remember like every Sunday, what like the Rasta brethren them they used to gather and they used to kick the ball like what they call like soccer, but they play with football and you know like Rasta play at a different man and kick the ball, kick at each other, kick it up a little bit, hold it on their head, you know, put it on their shoulder, put it in their back, you know, man. This was a joy then. Allow the youths them like I ain't them because they just see us watching, they just allow us to come in and play, you know what I mean? And then like when I was a youth, like, okay, true. I used to, okay, my father used to smoke cigar. So I used to see the Rasta man them smoke it. So I used to always want to know why they smoke so much cigar. Because I never see them open it and spin it up or nothing like that. I just to see them smoking the cigar. So I used to wonder, wait, he just want them to smoke like a cigar. So then, like, I came aware, and then I know that, yeah, well, they smoking like good,
So
like
what is the inner city like in Bahamas? Because when people hear about Bahamas, they're thinking the tourism, they're thinking about casino. What is the inner city? What are the ghettos in the Bahamas like? Paint a picture for the audience, because we're telling stories. The Lion are telling their stories, family. So we want to get the full picture of what the guy is talking about.
All right, ghettos in the Bahamas is just like any other ghetto, right? It's like, you get through some corners, everybody know how running water. At that time, it's growing up, plenty of people didn't have running water. It wasn't like, okay, now at this time it's more populated, be more advanced and saying different things, but more times you had like outside toilets, people using outside toilets. You had pumps through the corner where everybody come to the community pump to get water. You know what I mean? You had then you had the schools. People go to the schools. Your parents them they working on the job. You are like it's like the regular survival at the inner city where the people really like feel it, but really trying to pull together. And then in my time, like how they say, it take a village to raise a child.
Yes.
It was that type of environment. You had the village, don't care who you are as a child, you're gonna get discipline from anybody in the community, and you couldn't go home and complain about that. So he said because the village was looking out for you, and they would make sure you do the right thing, discipline you. Because he said if you complain, then you get another one, because then you're doing something wrong. You shouldn't tell.
What year are we talking about here? Are we talking about 60s, 70s?
Okay.
50s? What year are we?
I came in the 70s. So we talking in my time, it was in the 70s.
Okay. So what year was I born? 70 how much?
I born in 78.
Okay. We're close in age then. We're close in age. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
I was born in 77,
Rastafari.
Give thanks.
Yes, I said.
For the uprising. So
right.
You're coming up in the inner city, Bahamas, standpipe, you're collecting your water at the standpipe, no running water, outside toilets. Rastafari is present in the community. When was it that I decided to gravitate to Rastafari and decide that this was going to be the I-Chad?
All right. Like I say, right? I was a part of a gang at that time, and my family was having a family reunion, and I got a friend, a familiar friend. He was my brethren at that time, my bona fide. So I invite him, tell him, say my family having a family reunion. So when we go there, we got smoke and we get eat, and we get smoke and we get eat. I see, because at the time, we smoking ganja too, So when we went, the funny thing is, when we went the family reunion, I saw some of my cousins who I saw for a long time. We grew up together, but I didn't saw them for a long time. They live in one of the other old islands called Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Okay. So how old was guy at this time? What age are we talking about?
I was 16.
16, okay.
Teenager.
That's the theme, okay.
Right. So when we went to the family reunion, I saw my cousin. Like right before I saw my cousin, me and my brethren, we was looking for how I remember my auntie them for a long time. There's a place called Nassau Village in the capital. So I didn't really be in by in a long time. So I wasn't familiar with the community. So I didn't know where to go smoke. I didn't want to disrespect nobody, So my brethren asked me, man, when we could start smoking. So I told them, hold on. I see some of my cousins. I said, let me look for them. But when I saw them, I almost didn't recognize them, because I saw like four Rasta brethren. And they look more ancient, like they're as young like me, but they look more ancient. They look like lions, you know what I mean? Like lions, you know, well mugged, and you know, like at that time, you know, like coming in the Rastafari, even and coming in the Rastafari, like I used to go like slabs. We not the locks, like what you gotta be like thick slabs. So I see this man them, well, like I was so confounded and surprised when I walked to them to ask them a question. Then I turn around and I surprised saw it was my cousin. And then I said, wow. I say, man, Dynamis Rasta said, you know what I mean? They tell me, yeah. So where I so stunned, I asked them if they're a smoker. I say, Dynamis smoke, because true, man, I get some ganja. I got about an ounce of ganja. They say, get some ganja. And, you know, I want, me and my brother looking for a place to smoke. So they tell me, say, yeah, man, I mean to be a smoke, man. Say, yeah, man. So they walk forward. We walk and we go across to the next side. And as we go on the next side, you know, as Rastaman, you know, they blessed the herb. Then, like, I saw a different agitation. I saw a different vibration. Like, I at that time, you know, we just rolling and smoking. But the brethren, them, like I see, I was watching them from the break anyhow. But I see a change in them. Like, I see, like, more than years, man, them, like, they roll their ganja. And then they, like, all them block a prayer. They hold the Trinity. I didn't know the Trinity yet.
They're moving
militant. Right, you know, and they block a prayer, giving thanks to the Most High, you know, for the sacrament. Then we get in the reasoning. And they start telling me about His Majesty, you know. They start telling me about His Majesty, about Africa, with Rastafari, and everything. And very so amazed. I leave. When we finish smoking, I leave from there. Only 2 things I remember. Yeah, and they tell me about the dietary, the eating. And very so amazed with what they say. Because true, like, they tell me that we have a black king. I didn't know about no black king. You know what I mean? A black king? Rastafari. So I Selassie is our king of kings? What? We are not King George or the Queen Elizabeth. You know what I mean? And then to me, I always feel a Satan different type of spirituality anyhow, because trying always to pray to Jesus, and I didn't feel Satan things from how they were teaching. And so when they tell me that, man, that's stuck in my head. So I was walking forward, you know, they talk right there. Only thing 2 things I remember was yes. Haile Selassie is I am a black king and I am a god. And Rastas don't eat meat. That's all I remember. And as we walk out, I let them walk in front of us. So I tell my brethren, say, his name was Ernest. So I call him Ogre. So I tell him, I say, Ogre. I say, look here, wait. I say, look here. Hey, but we had our plan to eat meat. You know what I mean? So I tell him, say, look here. I say, Ogre, look here, wait. I say, wait, let me go forward there. Wait, we Rastas, wait, we ain't eat no more meat, wait. So he's down me for a while, you know what I mean? Because that's my brethren, and you know what I mean? He's down me. But when we going forward to the primary union yard, to the yard where it was, that day I had 2 parts, like we go in 2 different parts because, okay, when we reach the yard, I tell him he's Rasta now, you know them buffet style, but this have the primary union, all the food right there. All the food in front of us, we done ran. Our plan was to come here, eat, smoke, eat, smoke, eat, smoke. Now I tell him he's Rasta, we don't eat meat. So now he watching us, so he telling me, man, too, or they call me outlaw. He say outlaw. He say, outlaw, man, okay, man, I no more Rasta, man. No, first he asked me, say, partner, he asked me, say, outlaw, who the girl is? That's my cousin. This was my cousin. She was walking around, saving the food. So I didn't answer him. I just tell him that's my cousin. I didn't really get no detail because I trying to figure out how we can eat and what we can eat. Because he keep nagging me. He say, man, oh no, what we can eat, man. I say, hold on, man. I say, brethren, you take my cousin him over there. I say, you think there's Rastas? You think they ain't got nothing for them to eat? I say, hold on, just give a chance. We can let them know he's Rasta too. And what they eat, we can eat. But he couldn't wait, so he nagged me. Somebody nagged me. So
tempted. The meat,
tempted, nice, you know. So, right. You know, so he said, man, outline or Rasta, man. He said, man, I hungry. So I say, man, I say, hold on then. So I call my cousin. I say, Tanya, come here. I say, Tanya, that's Olga. He wants some. I say, Tanya, that's Olga. He like you. He wants some food. I remember there from that day, I introduced them. They get married and they had children. And
Okay, give
them
thanks.
two gone together, and I tried Rastafari from
Highly,
that day.
highly. You see, so the blessing was still there. He get his meat and him
Yes,
find him
right.
wife.
Yes, right.
The I tried with Rastafari. So
My Lord.
talk to I and I about the emperor, because the no meat was one thing, so you changed the eating. The other thing was that you had a black king,
Right.
Haile Selassie the First. How did the I rather study this? Did you just take it as the fact right there from what your cousins told you? Did you do further research?
Right.
What was
Okay.
the I journey?
Now, just like how you say, right? Because I was getting elaborate on it more, right? Like, okay, it was good while my cousin them was here because they just came for the family reunion.
Yes.
And the family reunion just last a weekend.
Yes.
So by Monday they was gone.
Okay.
and only me one was in Nassau, and only me one saying is Rasta now.
Okay.
And I don't know nothing about Rastafari. Only thing I know is that, like you say, Haile Selassie is God. He is our black king, and Rastas don't eat meat. So now I trying to figure out now how I could deal with this now. So like you say, right? So the first thing what I learned is that you read the Bible. Okay.
Yeah.
So what I started doing, and like I started reading the Bible. Because true, I was familiar with going to church, and I was familiar with saying scriptures and things in the Bible. So now I started reading the Bible, you know what I mean? So I come across, they come across Revelations, then they come across scriptures like Psalm 68, you know what I mean? There's like what my cousin them point out to me, Psalm 68, Revelation, then Isaiah, Isaiah 9 and 6. Then they point out Psalms 87. So
you were looking at these Psalms by yourself, or you link with Rastafari that were in Nassau, or how did you choose these parts of the Bible to read for the thyself?
No, like I say, right? My cousin they did first, like, okay, what I did as I was seeking, I end up calling them, right? Then they point out the first Psalms.
Okay.
Then like in them times, like some Bible, right? Like some Bible, like God had me blessed. I had a Bible, right? With like in the middle, right? It had like Satan lines with familiar scriptures. So you're gonna go to, like just said, if you read Satan there, it's like exalt them by the name of Jah who ride upon the heavens. Right? Also, then another Satan, another scripture will point you to, like in Isaiah, where that you find another part where Jah in the Bible again. So all that I started to come across and say, oh, man, this Jah ain't for Jehovah, this for Jah Rastafari, right? So now I started to go to the church because that's where I grew up. I grew up under the church, so I go under the church. So as I was in church.
What type of church was it? Anglican, Catholic? What type of church?
It was a Baptist church. It was a Baptist church.
Okay.
Right. It was a Baptist church, right? What I raised up under, you know. So I go into the church, right? And through like more times, you know, you get up the youth groups, right? Right. So I was in the youth group, and you know, the brethren was just talking some things, what didn't really resonate too much with me, you know. So I started to question that, you know.
Okay.
And then questioning it, like you see that more time, like I'm more reading the Bible, you know. So he asked me, for some familiar reason, the youth pastor asked me if I try to become a Rasta for some reason. And when he asked me that, we're so standing, where like, you know, like I with all the children them now, all the youths them and everyone, and he tried to like put me on the spot, you know. So I didn't know how to answer it. So he asked me it again. So yes, I have to say yeah. You know what I mean? No, because yeah, I say more time because I don't really believe in the Jesus. You know what I mean? I don't really believe in the Jesus and anyhow. And he said, tell me that's who's Jesus? What is Jesus? I say, you know that we have a black king, we have a black God. What when I start saying them tears? Oh man, all the children start come. Then after that, I get put out the youth. I get put out the youth group.
And you were
I
you
get
were you were what, 17 at this time, 16, 17 at this time?
16. I still 16. I still
16.
16.
Okay,
Yeah,
still
I still
16.
16.
All right, all right.
I get put on the youth, and then they send me to the pastor. Now, me and the pastor talking, and he talking to me, and that's where I get to see that, like, the pastor's really like fighting God word, because just where I get to see the pastors there and really teaching God word, they fighting God word, because when I point the scriptures like Psalms 87 and Psalm 68. You won't believe the pastor fight them things. And I tell him, hold on, man. You know, because, you know, like I wasn't adding, and I just reading and talking, asking, like how Psalm 68 say, exalt him, right? I mean, I say, his foundation was made in all the mountain. Then I talk about this one born there in Ethiopia. So I asked him, so man, so what this saying? Who this is? Just talking about his majesty. So man, again, he like fighting these things, and when I see him fighting the scripture, that's when I get to see. And then just to he keep me outside from being in the youth church. That's why I get to see there's faults and there's fighting. He keep me outside from the youth church, from me going forward and not talking to me until church over. When he come outside, then he stopped talking to me. Then I realized, oh, this the one was just fighting me and keeping me here. So more times I couldn't get to the youth. So every Sunday I start going forward to the church and start talking with the youth, start sharing them Rastafari, and start challenging the youth pastor. The youth pastor didn't like that. Then it started letting him on. Then we had one of the brethren, we had an elder, Rasta brethren. He was a come true. His name was Chapatrick, but we used to call he was known in the Rastafari community as Joseph Israel. You know, he was a part of the same organization. What I tell you earlier, the Kings of Kings missionary, and then also they did start up the Rastafari community, start up a giant umbrella organization at that time. The people of the Rastafari movement, okay. with a bubble priest. His name was Prophet Eliezer, Priest Eliezer. He was a instrumental brethren. He was very instrumental and stand up for he stand up and fought for the Rastafari community. He had a big camp.
Yes.
He had a camp.
This was based in Nassau.
Yeah, this was based in Nassau. Okay. You know, so the brethren Joseph Israel. So like I say, at that time it was the brethren Eliezer, Prophet Eliezer, and his yard, he had an organization called the People of the Rastafari Movement, and it was like an umbrella organization similar to what we was hosting Rastafari right now. He had some Bingy man them at that time a part of it too, and some man from the Kings of Kings missionary and the Bobo. But I didn't know all of this yet. I get invited. The brethren Joseph Israel, he invited me and one of my brethren who came with me. I moved a little fast, but after a while, yeah, I had a brethren who after long, who came and started trotting along with me too. His name was Jonathan. So after a while, the brethren see us just seeking, just like we trying to culture the youth in the community. Like I say, because like I said, at the time the youth was dealing with the gang violence and things. So we stopping them from dealing with the gang violence. We trying to push Rastafari, push love.
I wanted to ask you that. Are the ghettos in Bahamas violent? Is there a lot of violence in the ghetto in Bahamas?
Yeah, like I say, more times, like we had more like television, and they brainwashing you, so they showing you all these things and things. So yeah, the youths them had a gang, the youths them had a couple of gangs and
Is it
Yeah,
gun violence or knife fight? What kind of
yeah.
are you talking about?
At that time, it wasn't really too many guns, but you had one or two guns with a safest up. You know what I mean? Probably it would get really serious, or a man want to bring real fear, or something happen really dramatic, or so, or someone really hates someone serious and brothers really want to take revenge, or something like that. But I did not know it was like bottling rock, you know what I mean? And then sometimes probably knife or a cutlass or something like that, but really bottling rock. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Bottling rock war. You know, because like I said, with that tape war, or just, you know, just one or two brothers hating on one another, or, you know, just fall into the society brainwash mentality to keep black man down, you know.
Yes,
But like I say, the brethren and
this was in the 80s. This was in the 80s or the 90s. This was 90s. This was the mid 90s, right?
yeah, this was coming up in the 90s now. This was in the
Yes,
90s
yes,
now.
yes.
You know, so like I said, the brethren and white, he see us like we trying to hold the principle. You know, at that time, do you learn to shake out, you learn to make batch, learn to make your batch and thing. You know, because you know we shake it over hibiscus and tuna, and sometimes you know we making a tuna batch, we mix it, and you ain't want it water. You ain't want it have much water in it because, like I said, we trying to go them thick slabs. Like me and my brethren had 7 Congos. You know, like we see steel posts and steel posts had, you know what I mean? What? Yeah, man. So, you know, so one time, at that time, like your teacher was like different from reading the Bible. The teachers was, before I really was invited to the camp and embraced the community, the teachers was like Bob Marley and Sizzler and Capleton, Luciano, you know what I mean? Jamason, Jamali, you say that, Judgment, Steel Post, you
Yeah,
say Israel Vibration.
we talk about that in the Negus episode, that explosion in the early 90s,
Right, you say
late
that?
90s, with all of those culture artists coming out from
Right, you know?
Jamaica. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Right.
man.
So they was more like, yeah, so you know, holding frame and you know what I mean, all them tone and like things like that, they keep you heretical, and then you know, like Jacob Miller them, you know,
Yeah, man.
Rastaman want to smoke chalice, catch in the open, don't hide no more. So you know, so all these things you make you feel rebellious. You feel like a coconut lion, you want coconut. Huh? So
Talk to us about how did they deal with ganja back in the day? You said when you were younger, you were looking for a place to smoke. Is ganja free up in Bahamas, or do they lock you up on site? How the police deal with ganja in
yeah,
Bahamas?
man. For I know myself, ganja was illegal. but I never stopped buying it, man. I never stopped buying it. You know what I mean? From ganja was illegal over here, you know. But
So,
like I say,
were they rough on people with ganja, or you see like in Jamaica? If you go to Jamaica, you're gonna smell it, you're gonna see it all over the place.
no,
Even
we ain't had that type of privilege. We ain't had that type
okay.
of privilege.
All right.
Only
I
time,
want you to make it clear. I want you to make it clear, because we're painting a picture. Family,
yes,
the lion
no,
of
we
the
didn't have that
tribe
type of
story.
privilege. We didn't have that type of privilege with the ganja. Only like, okay, before my era,
Yes.
before my era, the Rastaman before me had the privilege. The
Okay.
ganja was free. You see it? The ganja was free. Like in the rise of Rasta, the ganja was free. Man, them used to like what they would pay now for like $5 split or even $100. Man used to get a handful of it, like the elders would say. You know, ganja was free then.
That was in the 70s and the 80s.
That was like, yeah, that was the, like late 60s and early 70s and thing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But in my time, yeah, ganja was then being oppressed, you know what I mean? They had prohibition out and they trying to oppress you for ganja now. Because then, you know, like Bob Marley had a concert over here. And then like in the 80s, and then like through the concert, they didn't want Bob Marley come over here because they said, nah, Bob Marley could turn everybody in the Rasta and everybody smoking ganja.
Okay.
So
they didn't let Bob Marley perform in Bahamas?
The first time they didn't let him perform, they let Yellow Man perform. They let Yellow Man came before him, but then afterwards, Bob Marley ended up having a concert. And
Okay.
that's what they say when Bob Marley had that card say it broke loose. Hey, not just the ghetto thing Rasta, the high class, middle society, high class society, all thing Rasta. All the
Okay.
children and everything who they send out to college and university come forward as Rasta.
When
You know?
what year? What this was the early 80s you're talking about?
Yeah, the early 80s and thing, you know? Yeah, man. You know,
Okay, okay. So
so so it was good. So it was a good experience, and the ganja at the time was free, but it was free, you know. But like I say, true, true they blame the see the oppression over here too. Come with Rasta and the ganja because we're from Jamaica. We're uprise with Rasta in Jamaica, and then you know the tears with Rasta going through in Jamaica with the government and all them different things. So the talk was that the prime minister over here, someone was saying that the talk was that the prime minister was told to watch the Rasta uprising in the Bahamas.
okay.
Yeah. So they started to oppress Rasta at a point in time. You know, man, them used to cut Rasta locks. Right. You know, I just was gonna talk with that. That's my brethren now. You know, Jamaica, blessed Jamaica, and blessed
And
up God may.
yeah, big him up, big him up. But if you're watching, you can put your comments. I see the I comment here. Do any of the brothers have any advice for young Rastafari, such as myself, 7 years young? We're gonna answer that question, King. So stay tuned with us. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. This is interactive. We're in the Bahamas tonight, the Lion Voice Network. We're taking you around the planet to highlight the lion story. Because everybody have their platform. Why can't we have our platforms then to tell our own stories? And big up all of the Rastafari brethren and sisters on YouTube. But we are coming with another platform to really highlight some of the frontline workers. This is Lion Talk Live. So I want to answer the brethren Bahamas treaty. Big him up. Answer the
Yes,
question.
yeah, man. Big up to my brother Jamaica, you know, Rastafari, you know, yeah, man. That's when I was the former chair or host of Rastafari, I umbrella organization. That was the assistant chair, you know.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, man. Part of the brethren, and I want to big up to all my brethren and sisters from the Rastafari community and the grassroots community. My brethren in Lucia Cardi and all those Rastafari 1.5 love, you know. Yes, I. Blessed
Big up,
love.
yeah, man. Big up all of the Bahamian Rastafari family.
Yes, I.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to be able to come out there, just like I'm going to St. Croix. I'm looking forward.
And
So
and again,
yeah.
I got no. I just remember. I have to. I almost live out. I want to send the most special love in regard to my Empress Philippa. One love, blessed love. You know,
So we're gonna
that
talk about that.
no,
This is a family.
that's
This
good.
is a channel for the black family, you know. So I'm gonna ask how long has the I been married, or how long with the I Queen?
Yes, but 15, but over 15 years now.
Yeah, man. So we're gonna.
Yes,
I love that. So stick a pin. We're gonna come forward to the family life, because brethren, you see, the young brethren is asking for advice. So we're gonna talk about the family part down. So if you're here with us, be patient, because I want to get through the brethren story, and then we'll get into some other topics. So you are taking us to when you were a teenager. You're in your teens. So you embrace His Majesty first through the Bible. When were you exposed to like the selected speeches or documentaries? When, did I start taking the study deeper into the teachings of His Majesty?
All right. Before I answer that, right? Jellico, I just want to say this quickly. Jellico, the brethren was said earlier when I was talking to the eye, like I telling you about, like how the Rasta used to get brutalized, and like how he said, he mentioned that, he mentioned how the Rasta used to get cut. Yeah, like how there's a cut Rasta with glass bottles and cutlass. Kick down your door. They kick down your door, come forward in the congregation, kick over your pot. He said, shoot, kill Rasta. See? and petty for the sacrament, and they blame plenty plenty brethren coming to the sacrament who turn the using sacrament, they blamed it on Rasta. So I said, and they tell you, oh, that used to be a talk, oh, you can be them daily Rasta, you are smoking drugs and this and that, and you know what I mean? Because people used to downtrodden Rasta and discriminate Rasta. Yeah, I see. Then, because true, they are looking at this hurry, but now the day when they want to legalize it and bring it as medical marijuana, then they saying it's good, but they ain't looking at that part now and respecting Rasta for that part. But like the question with the eye asked me, yeah, man, on that, like, okay, like I said now that the brethren, the elder brethren, Ras Patrick, Joseph Israel, he see me and my brethren, Jonathan, embracing the liberty. He's just shaking out, you know, we shaking out to the corner this evening. We're just shaking out, you know, and then after that, we sit down and we're smoking a kite and just reading the Bible. So we was passing through because, like I say, they didn't have a movement, a organization. It used to be crossed in the other area called Anglican, you know, through Padodio Street. So he passed and he called her and he said, hey, Chapman, I don't show me Rastafari, right? You want to learn more Rastafari? He said, yeah, man. He said, if we want to come by the camps, say, if we know the camps cross through Padodio Street, oh, we used to go there to buy herb. You know what I mean? We just used to go to the buy herb, but we never used to really raise it with no one like that. So, because the brethren now, he used to give you justice. He used to say, Luke serve, and you know, Rastafari, he was strong at that time. So we said, yeah, man, we know the campus, and so we said gathering happening there this evening. So when we going forward at the evening now, then we see the brethren stand there, and they gathering. They start read the Bible the same way. Then like I say, it was different brethren because you had some brethren where like I didn't know the different at that time. My brethren wearing terrible, you know. Then you had some brethren wearing some cap just like the eye. Then you had some brethren wearing they had crown like the eye, and then some brethren they just up their locks out. And then like I see some brethren there. There's like it was two set of different brethren. They were like brothers. It was one set named Papa Duck and Papa Red. This was the brethren. They was very instrumental in Rastafari at that time because they had a radio station called Farai Entertainment. Okay. Then they had a culture shop.
Okay.
So I said. So and then you had some other brethren, Ching.
And this was all in Nassau. The shop was in Nassau. Everything you're talking about is in
Nassau.
the
shop was in Nassau. I believe the shop. If I could remember, I can't remember for sure the shop in there Far Right Troopers or I can't remember or that was a reggae band or a reggae group, but I try to remember. But I know the shop was in Nassau, and it was on Wolf Road. But yeah, man, it was very productive selling Rastafari crafts, culture wares, whatever you need. They was very instrumental in doing that. And like I said, he had a radio show, educating ones. It is come on every Saturday. Call it Entertainment Charm. And there's be educating ones on the Rastafari way of life.
Does that platform still exist? Does it still exist today?
No, it don't exist. But that's something what I always want to try to bring forward again in remembrance of my brethren. Two of the brethren, them, they yard on, you know. Yeah, man. They were our ancestors now, you know. Yeah, but it was very, their work was very instrumental and their contribution will never be forgotten, you know. Yeah. And like I say, you had some other brothers there. Oh, at the time, like I just get to know these brothers. One the name Ching and one the name Lion. And they was all these brethren was Bengies. These was Bengies. And at the time, I had just see Rasta with Satan locks out of Satan probably at your back. At the time, these man them lock was at the ground. Okay. These brothers lock was to the ground. It's like it's long. You know what I mean? So you know they be in the trot for a long time. So yeah, so at that time, so I get to know them. And then as I started coming forward to the gathering, I didn't know, like throughout that time I used to see Rastafari. I never used to see I never see no, like, because it was a point in time where the segregation come within Rastafari as to say, well, with colors, Bingy man show up with the green up, Bobo man show up with the red up, you know what I mean? So at that time I didn't see none of that. I used to be guided by a brethren who had he was a Bobo, and his camp was pink, red, gold, and green. And I used to go in there every day and I never see that red, gold, and green. Because like you said, I started reading about His Majesty and I started learning about His Majesty. So I see His Majesty moving with the green, gold, and red. So whatever I do, I move to green, gold, and red. That was when my foundation started to come with the green, gold, and red. So me and my brethren at this time, we had some rod, which we used to move through it, walk around with our rod. Because like I tell you, we had 7 Congos. So we used to walk around with our rod, and the rod was green, gold, and red. So I started to encounter the differences, because when I started to go for the different gatherings now, which I didn't know if it was a Bobo gathering, a Bingy gathering. I just knew it was a Rasta gathering, Rastafari gathering.
You didn't have the awareness of the different segments of Rastafari at that time.
So as I started to go for these gatherings, then I started to get these like different vibes, like, oh my Lord, you can't walk on your head. Oh, I turn you right up. You know what I mean? So these things, they started to come from a different vibration. You know what I mean? So then it started to cause me like get inquisitive. So I had to try to see why what man telling me that. Then I started to see, oh, you get Bobo. And you get Nyabinghi. See it? So that's what caused me. So I learned the difference of the different mansions now, the different houses.
Okay. So why did I choose now Nyabinghi as opposed to?
I can tell you right now. So before I was to go, like the question what you asked, what caused me start to seek and read documents and His Majesty books. So before I go in, I say, man, if I fall on anyone, I fall on His Majesty. I say I can fall His Majesty because this Rastafari, he is Rastafari. He is a black God and king. I see. So what I did, I started to try learn more. I started to buy books now, get books. Go by brethren, books what I couldn't buy or I couldn't afford. I go by a Rasta man, a brethren, who is Rasta after man. You don't get no books, you don't get no documentaries. Because documentaries, and then documentaries are powerful, popular. So you get documentaries and then you get some books. So I used to read these books and read the documentaries and everything and try get my understanding. I see.
Yes,
so you read the documentaries.
I'm smiling because I had a similar journey,
Right.
And I call myself the reading Ras because books have been so important. And look what your brethren say here, Bahamas 3D imaging. He said that this was answering the young Ras from San Francisco. He said that he's telling the young Ras, just study, my Lord, study and read. Our King tell us to read good books. So I just want to see the synergy. You know what I mean? That's the trad I know. You have to keep on studying. His Majesty was the Minister of Education. So anyone who embrace Rastafari faith or trad have to love education, have to have a love of reading. It never stops. So it's never you become big Rasta man or big Rastafari brethren and you stop reading or you stop seeking.
Because through His Majesty like knowledge is power. Because like I said, I didn't know. Then so Satan conversation at the time, I couldn't even talk. Even like just saying like if a Christian tried to put me in like in a corner, then they say like then say no one can see God and live, or how you can be God and this and that and what I'm saying? I couldn't really like respond for it quick. What I mean? But when I started to read, I started to get this knowledge. What you ask me that? What? It's visible, invisible, visible. Read the scripture. Right? That's how you get wow. What I mean? So it made me more bolder and confident. Yes. So now I'm on the Rastafari community now. When I need to go around the Rastafari community, And then like I say, like if I used to see a dogma, I used to fight against that because more times I like know like more time. Okay, at that time, even though the Nyabinghi was the first Rastafari movement, I just say in the Bahamas because
Okay.
it was the Nyabinghi over here before it was the Bobo Shanti, and then it was like I said the Kings of Kings missionary, and then it became the Bobo Shanti. But like I say, the Nyabinghi was the foundation of Rastafari over here, and
Were
then like
was 12 tribe there as well? Any 12 tribe presence in Bahamas?
if they was they were a few and they were quiet probably at the time before my time. But like I
Okay.
say, we will look at them as kings of kings missionary because they
Okay.
had similarities. Saying I feel like the brethren, he admired Prophet God and what Prophet God is set up. So I feel because he was very knowledgeable too. He's a brethren. I need to see if I can get him to be on the show too. He's a brethren who very knowledgeable as the elder brethren because he tried Rastafari from a very youth, from an
Okay.
early age too.
He's still with us.
Yeah, he's still with us.
Yeah, man.
So
Definitely. Let's line it up because
yeah,
we want to get the history.
right. His name
What
was Elder
this
Baldy.
channel is preserving the history, so we definitely want to hear from the brethren in reference to the Bahamas.
Right. So so him, a brethren like him, he started up like the Kings of Kings missionary, and it was similar to the 12 tribe because when before I really sat down and get the full understanding, I thought that was actually the 12 tribe. I used to call it the 12 tribe. Besides that, even as a Rasta, because true, I see some of the similarities. So I used to say there's the 12 tribe. You know what I mean? But he explained to me what he is, you know what I mean? And why he you know. But like I said, at that time, so I let him brethren know that brethren before it was all the segregation, it was Nyabinghi and I was following His Majesty, and I was following the same flag, the red, gold, and green. Because I said, so we can't fight against one another, and we can't disrespect each another. Because I said, so more times I like push that in, I know, and so and pushing that, and now awareness that that's how I feel that I don't want them to feel the same way after a while and through the time and at the time of the spring more and coming to 2000, that's how we end up getting to create the host of Rastafari, you know,
Okay.
to
Okay. So
bring
that
the
was the House of Rastafari was a unity organization.
right, right.
Did the elders from Jamaica ever come? The Nyabinghi elders, did they ever come to Bahamas?
Uh, I no, I would say like before, like I was telling Bingy Glen, I was telling Bingy Glen them and Ivy, Ras Ivy that no,
Yes.
we never had no Bingy elders. We had probably one or two brethren like Ras Roderick. That's a Bingy elder. He used to be probably a part of the CRO or something like that, or part of the Nyabinghi at Scotch Park, and he probably came over here and get and was cool with brethren who had like a Rastafari band. Yeah, we had a band called the Farai Troopers, and we had another Rastafari band too. So so he probably was cool with the brethren stem and he trod over and then he got to know other ones them and brethren stem he invited them probably to Jamaica. But other than that, no. We ain't had no elders like how you had like in different regions, like how I know about elders coming from Jamaica and help setting up the order. No. But now, but like I say, but during that short, like as I was learning and reading and learning of His Majesty and seeking and reading documents and reading books, I ended up getting invited to a Bingy gathering from my brethren, by my brethren called Ras Charlie and he had an empress called Sister Terry at that time. Now they used to hold up the Bingy gathering at the gates, you know. So and that's where my name used to come and link them and raise it and everything. And then when we do coronation, like if there was like a celebration come like His Majesty H strong or like the Battle of Ottawa, because now I just was learn I started to learn of these holidays, you know. I started to learn that we have holidays too. Because what from I learned them and Babylonians will say, you know, they have but they Valentine's and Christmas and all these things, they talk holidays. So when I learn about Rastafari days, I used to call them young man this I holiday. It's holiday because you learn all you learn etymology too, the root of words too.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
like that
Yeah,
saying
you
no,
want to say Island Day.
yeah.
Yeah,
You say
Island
that,
Day. Yeah,
yeah,
man.
that's like holiday, you know what I mean? Where we giving thanks and praises to His Majesty on this day. So it was good to learn of this, so and then like when we learn of I feel what draw Rastaman stronger and I would build theoretically is when you start to embrace the ground nation, the heretical part of the order. When you learn with the chant, like I
Yes.
like I try to tell enough youths and think, okay, simple as when you like okay for me when I first going forward this gathering with my brothers, them, when we had old outlet and we had in the perfect, we had to go in the elements, we had to go in the woods or go by the beach. Like sometimes the woods and the beach right there. You know what I mean? So we out in the middle of the woods in nature and we by the beach. And then I didn't know other
What kind of wildlife do you have in Bahamas? Is it what do you have in the bush? What kind of animals you have in the bush in Bahamas? Anything? Any snakes? Any
yeah,
lizard?
yeah,
Iguana?
yeah, man.
What's going
The
on in the
most
bush in Bahamas?
the most dangerous thing, like the most dangerous thing you might find through some of the islands, different things, is probably like snakes, different snakes breeds and raccoons or you know what I mean? Things like that, wild dogs or
Okay,
you
the
get
wild.
lizard iguanas, but we
You have
ain't get no
poisonous venomous snakes in Bahamas.
we ain't get them type a
Okay.
poisonous
I know
venomous
like
thing.
Saint Lucia, some of the other island, they have one of the most
No,
deadly
we ain't
yeah,
unless they was brought here,
yeah.
unless they was brought here and let on the ball. You know what I mean? But most we have is wild hogs, you know what I mean? Wild hog and things like that. And, but other than that, we ain't get
So when you go
no
to the
no
bush,
dangerous beasts them really can't.
you're relatively
Yeah,
safe when
man,
you
you
go
can
to the
chill.
all
Yeah,
right,
man, you
all
can
right.
chill. Yes, like I say, just watch out for them little spiders, them little what do you call them spiders again? Them little black spiders and things like that. But scorpions and things like that, centipedes and things like that. That's all it is. But like I say,
Okay.
but no. But when we went in the woods now, and then like I was introduced to the bingy drumming, the drumming, and like it
Judgment
was
fire, they have judgment fire, all of those things there.
right. You learn that you have the judgment fire, as I said. So you see man them light the fire, perform the fire key, like find them judgment, block a prayer, light the fire, block prayers, and now it's like that's a different vibe. You know what I
Different
mean?
vibe.
There's a different vibe from the church and you know what I mean? And this feel more like tears now like when you watch the movie and then like when you watch movie on like with your African culture, you know what I mean? You see the slave them on the plantation and slave them gathering and then or the Indian vibe because they used to try like make it and them days they try make the Indians feel like they get more of this native vibe, but smoking the peace pipe and being around the fire. They didn't want to show too much of the African vibes. You know what I mean? You had to go buy special tapes for them things.
Yeah.
So
Couldn't find that.
yeah, so like I say now, so now I see in this vibe live and watching this and thing, then when
Touch the eye heart.
when the bass start,
Yeah,
boom
man.
boom, and then you hear the click, the 1 2, boom boom,
Do
one
good.
two.
Do good.
That do good. You know what I mean? And then You feel in your heart because you know it's a heartbeat. Oh my Lord. Then the repeater start. Clack, clack. Oh my Lord. Rasta God, my Lord. They had me. Then hey, when they had me the first time it start off, I just ready was sharing it so bad I started clapping. I quickly started clapping. You know what I mean? When I clapping so hard, and they look at me and tell me, you know, everything was clapping and stuff. So I had to clap down. I thought I did so. I just fired, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
man.
then I just
Hard.
feel the vibe. You know, the vibe was nice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I noticed like them chants. You know what I mean? Them chants like the King's Highway. You know, one perfect love, birds in the treetop. You know what I mean? These chants and things. You know what I mean? My Lord, like chat gates are open wide. I know, my Lord, when I hear these chants and things, I like, what? Hold on, man. That's the far right. You know, I gotta learn this.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, you know, so then I see my name block the anthem. They block the anthem and things. So I asked someone, that's like the national anthem. Then I say, yeah, that's Rastafari anthem, that's the Ethiopian anthem, it's the great. So, you know, like I have in a country you're growing up when the anthem and the pledge and the anthem and the pledge, right? So I started to, oh, that's Rastafari. So what? I quickly learned them. I learned them fast. What? No gathering could have come. I couldn't recite them. I recited them.
How old was the eye? This was still teenager or this is later?
Still teenager.
How
Yeah,
old?
man, still teenager, like moving from 16 to 17 now. You know what I mean? Going up now. You know what I mean?
So how long before the I considered the I self worthy to take on the title priest? Because I noticed they use that word sound of priest where not every Bingy man, even though it's supposed to be a priesthood order, not every Bingy man use that title. There's usually a certain brethren who really take it serious where you're going to say, I am Priest Marcus. So how long before, from the teenage time to the I start feel confident to identify the I self as a priest?
All right. The I say, right? Me personally, right? Okay. I didn't really just identify myself as a priest. Even though, like, when as you grow up now and you get the knowledge, you start to have like even like you know being embraced with both of them and coming up, then both of them say, oh, all man is prophet, priest, and king. You know what I mean? So yeah, so like I let man them know, yeah man, I know I said I was a prophet, a priest, and a king. You know what I mean? So I didn't know that part, but as a part, like I started reading, and I started seeking His Majesty teachings and following His teachings, and 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 just putting it to work, like Rastafari become my life. See it? Like I say, like okay, that's what I love, that's my life. So I all in. I see I all in. So at that time, like yeah man, if Rastafari they go this way, I go this way. Do this, I you know what I mean? Like so it was like brethren in the community, and then like you couldn't diss His Majesty at that time. Like more times, like like you know, like how they say, like the elder karate man. He tell you say, well, he's a tiger before he become a dragon or something like that, or what they try to say. You know what I mean? Try to say, well, you'll be like young and aggressive before you get humble. You know what I mean? You get humble with age. Okay, but at that time, yeah, I was young and fiery. You couldn't diss His Majesty. You couldn't talk with Rasta. You couldn't talk with the Jesus. You couldn't come with no. I burning them things out. You see what they said?
That's the part of the uprising. One moment, because I see Sister Bless Up, Sister Marie Nadine Pierre. She said, John Jazz love. I feel that I and I Rastafari need to adhere to His Imperial Majesty's advice to do our due diligence and build up the countries where I and I live before repatriating to Africa. All right, we're going to talk about repatriation and how the I sight up repatriation. The I did a prayer in Ethiopian, so I think I have an idea where the I stand. But we're gonna talk about that But I want the to continue. Continue to put your questions in the comments. If you have not subscribed to the platform, subscribe to the platform, like, share. We are in the Bahamas. We have Honorable Priest Ras Marcus from Bahamas here with us, and he's giving us a history of the Rastafari movement and his own uprising in the Bahamas. We're gonna ask some more information how Bahamas structure is not just one island. People don't realize. We're gonna talk about the tourism aspect. It's an economy that's dominated by tourism. We're going to talk about the unity movements. We have a whole heap of things. So again, you have any comments, questions, put them into the chat. If you're not subscribed, if you're not part of the Lion Pride family, go ahead and click the subscribe button. We're building a Rastafari own multimedia platform here. So continue, Bridget, the journey to becoming a priest within the order.
Yep. Yes, I give thanks. Yeah, and like I said, right, like so at that time I just like Rastafari become my life, so I just live in Rastafari, and then like so like I like the journey was like following His Majesty, like okay, it's just like I say, just following the teaching of His Majesty and promote the green, gold, and red and everything. I just automatically is a bingy man. And I mean, like I just automatically is a bingy man. Then I then gravitate the bingy music. You know what I mean? Even though one of the time, one of my brethren, one of my bingy brethren, elder brethren, he say, if Kashu, we used to go, Kashu, anywhere where Rasta is, I used to go. You understand? If Rasta was something over here, or a Rasta brethren over there, or if a Rasta brethren getting locked up, or a Rasta brethren getting oppressed, I there. Trust me, you can't oppress a Rasta around me. So what's that? So anyhow, so I used to go by the Bobo camp too, you know. I used to go by the Bobo camp because I have Bobo brethren, you know, like the young brethren and like the old brethren. The old brethren might have a wife with this old Bobo brethren might have a wife with the old Bingy brethren, or whatever, or they might have some type of wife with being brethren, whatever. But the young, they see things differently. See it? So me and my brethren, and we coming up in Rastafari, and we have this love for Rastafari. So we gather, maybe it's Bobo or Bingy. We selling weed. We ready to legalize this weed. We ready to fight against the Babylon. We don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. We tired of them locking us up. So so we had a gathering where we used to be, you know, and we had our own camp, you know. So we just could come, the community could come and learn. So it go from there.
That camp was in Nassau, or where was the camp?
Right, the camp was in Nassau. You know,
okay.
at my gate.
Are you talking about like an empty land? Is it a building? What does the camp look like?
It was my gate. It was like a place, like okay, like it was like it was like a yard. It was like a yard where it started to be abandoned, and I didn't know the brethren who owned the yard, the people who owned the yard. And like I want more from my mother them. So I moved from my mother them. And like I go on by the yard and I take it in the gates or a camp, and I open it to Rastafari into the community. So we had Rastas.
How old was the I when you started that camp?
But 18. Okay. Yeah, but 18. You know what I mean?
What was the I doing for economic strength at that time? How was the I sustaining the itself?
It's selling ganja.
The green herb. And
yeah,
this is a story that we're gonna touch on the fight for the cannabis, but many Rastafari survive by the plant. So our relationship, when we talk about reparations, and as you say, now that is becoming legalized across the globe, we were the ones who are getting beaten for it, because there's nothing else that you can criminalize a Rastafari brethren for other than the ganja. So so we took a lot of the beating, the persecution because of this plant, but the plant also helped to sustain us, through those dark days that we could separate ourselves from Babylon, because status, you didn't integrate into the Babylon society, so it helped to keep us somewhat separate.
Right.
But it also created stagnation, because sometimes you couldn't send your youth to school, you couldn't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because if you are running a gate, you have to watch for police. You have to watch who your friends are. All of them things you have to still be wise. So 18, the eye now coming into yourself. You have the knowledge. You're reading books. You're watching documentaries. You establish a yard in NASA. It's a Rastafari camp. Take us to the journey now.
Right. But like you say, you see the ganja one, you see the ganja alone couldn't just wake, you know, because then you know that we have to show skills and everything. So eventually you start building craft, like doing craft work too, you know, like making badges, making picture frames, going down a hustle with them. Then like people like in the community, you know, like Rastana, remind them of the old days, remind them of the days like when I was a youth. I like man, I and they cook it and people could smell the good coconut milk and the food and the good food brewing and thing that I tell and there. So people starting to want some of this food in the community. So then you open up a little restaurant from your home. So it's there and you're selling food like that, same time still selling the herb. So nothing's just moving through. But like I say now, being like now like you're reading and you're building a knowledge and you're growing. So at the same time now I becoming a part of the Nyabinghi. I becoming a part of the Nyabinghi Order. So within the order, I get embraced with the guidelines.
Yes.
Reading the guidelines. So I read the guidelines. So I adhere to the guidelines and everything what the guidelines do. And I say that anything dealing with the Nyabinghi groundation or Nyabinghi ground or anything is expected of the Nyabinghi man to assist in these situations. You see that? So I see that as my duty. So anything dealing with the camps, because now wherever the grounds is, like we used to call the camps like sometimes like I say, it started off by my brethren, Charlie. Then they will move by another brethren, Field Marshal, or no, it was by Ching them, then by Charlie, then by Field Marshal. So as we go forward, I will pass by the gates to see if they need assistance with anything, or you know, or to see if the drums or they need assistance with the drums. Or I added a line, you know, it's more up in ranks. You know, I learn everything I need to learn. I learned the drums, I learned to hold the 1-2, learn how to hold the 1-2, I learned how to keep up and pace. Then
Very
after
crucial,
that,
very crucial. People think the 1-2 is easy or boring, but it's a discipline.
right. It's a pure discipline.
It's a martial art. I look at it like a martial art just to hold that do good.
Right. Not once is what rush to the Kete. Because I had my chance too. I had my chance rushing to the Kete too. Because you know, see, you just automatically, you just what? You know what I mean? That you just want bring that, you know what I mean? Keep going with that. But then like you know, like you say, you gotta know how to judgment. All that, you know what I mean? Because from you could hold that 1-2, the bass gets solid. Boom. Juke. You know what I mean? Boom. Juke. Then the repeater just fall it. Boom. 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 You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it gets flow naturally. So I study that. Brethren can tell you, I study that, brethren. I study the sound. I listen to the timing. Then I used to go forward and listen to the elders. You know, the Nyabinghi elders. Yeah, I used to go to listen to that thing. So I get to say that, word for word. When the elders them talk, I get to talk. When they say the bingy and the time for elders to talk, I get to say exactly what they said. That was my life.
Yeah, so the Rastafari LSC,
you don't know. So moving through, so studying them and moving with them and the knowledge and everything. So and then being full taken within the Nyabinghi Order and the Nyabinghi house, and then like at that time, like I say, we didn't have a tabernacle. We just used to go forward in the woods or by a beach area, you know, with whole granite, or sometimes by a public park where we carry concerning the celebrations. it's sure that you hold it in-house or you go to a public place, you know what I mean? So we either go to public park or building like that. But then come the point where that I was very instrumental in helping build a tabernacle over here. Helping I them push and build a tabernacle with the respect of one of my elder brethren, Field Marshal, always respect to the high Field Marshal, because he gave I the land, he gave I the opportunity to have a land, you know, because we used to gather in this yard first, and by talking with it, we used to have thrones, because he used to have thrones where we used to sit as kings on the thrones and sit in the inner cycle and reason, you know, and who would probably bingy and, you know, celebration times or whatever, you know, but then like, we say we could take it to higher heights and we could build a tabernacle, we could build it with the structure like I once say with the 12 poles and the 30 and one in the middle and the roof, the sacred roof and everything. So we follow suit. We follow the Bengal guidelines to the T. Build the tabernacle and everything and being instrumental and building the tabernacle. And before that, you know, like
where was the tabernacle built? Was it on government land? Was it on a brethren's land? How
no,
did that?
it was on the, like I was saying, it was on the brethren land. The brethren name is Bongo Field Marshal, Elder Bongo Field Marshal.
How
So
many?
he said,
How big was the land? Was it over an acre? How? And what type of land are we talking about?
yeah, it was. You say, okay, what the government never do over here, right? Okay, this was our tabernacle would be built where it was built in the community, in the grassroots community, within the people, around the people.
In a city vibe.
In the city, in a brethren yard.
Okay.
So they said, like how back in them days, like Elder Bonagy is them and the other brethren eyes them, they used to gather and had the groundation in the yard and different thing, and they camp and they in the gates. Yeah. So it was like that. And the brethren bless us with the space. Like I say, the government name is Robia in a city. You have the be set or you have the family property or generation property to have like acres and acres of land. What they do is they give it like probably a half acre or a certain square feet of land, you know what I mean? Develop on, you know, in the ghetto areas, you know. So we ain't had a whole acre, but we have a nice space. And that's where we built our first tabernacle right there. But before that, before the tabernacle, I was very instrumental in help keeping up the groundation. So like I say, learn the groundation, I learn how to beat the drums, I learn how to chant the chant, I learn how to carry out the gathering, how to carry the groundation order. So I say, like I learned everything to the T, you know what I mean? So the elders was watching when you don't know they watching. So I say, because I just living my life, I just being me, living my life. And then at the time of the opening of the tabernacle, when we was moving with the tabernacle and sealing up it for the opening, and we didn't open up and starting to gather the tabernacle for groundation, then the elders them and ordaining priest them, that's when they ordained me as the first youth priest.
Okay. What year was that?
This was okay. What's this? Because what this I can't remember exactly what year, right? But I can tell you that because we're then having a dialogue with Ras them and everything, and because you know, like on chewing, you know, one was question things like when they find out that I was a priest, like I say, and then they say, "What? Your mother's a priest, they're a young priest." You know what I mean? Wow. So like, but when we was talking about when they started, remember when they started talking about the youth priest and how when a youth priest would come without, I learned that from it, I was ordained as a priest when I was either 30 or 31.
Okay.
You believe that? That is so I was so when I heard him say them there, I just sit back and
was I with the I Queen when I became a priest?
Yes, I.
Okay, so the I was already trotting with the Queen, and the I was been with the Queen for 15 years, so we know, yeah, that sound about right.
Yes,
So
sir.
was it long before your Queen that you became a priest, or after you became a priest, you were with the Queen?
It was when I after, yeah,
After,
after,
okay.
yeah, after.
We're gonna
So
talk about, cause we want, everybody loves a love story, you know. So we want to get a we want, we want to get the Rastafari love story them out there, because people looking at Rastafari like he's a player or enough woman. But I know a lot of family man, and this channel is about rebuilding the Rastafari family, repairing the bond and the breach between the man and the woman, so we can build some strong families and we can build a nation properly. So please tell us, how did I meet the I Queen? Was she trotting Rastafari, or what was that story?
All right, yes, I. Yes, when I meet my queen, one day I meet my queen one day, like actually coming on a bus, okay, uh, as now as being Rasta and being on my own, you know, and I'd had a youth with other impress, right? But now, you know, like now I dealing with my youth, taking care of my youth, and on a like a self-reliance struggle. So what I did is I I decided to create a business. At them times I used to sell, like, different from selling food, I used to sell CDs and DVDs. So you
Okay.
said, right, so, and moving through selling music CDs and DVDs and then I end up bucking up coming off a bus. And just true, you know, you got a black woman, sweet and beautiful, you know, natural beauty. Like a brother say, the black woman, sweet and natural beauty, you know.
Yes,
So yes, so one time bucking the sister coming off the bus, you know, well mug, she shorting, you know, like she's on a journey. So more times I can pass up. I wanted to stop and say, Rastafari, blessed Empress, Royal Empress. You know what I mean? That's how I embrace her. And through embracing it, that
she was trotting Rastafari them time already.
no, she wasn't fully trodden Rastafari, but she was on an African journey. Cause like
Okay.
she did that go here, like Lauryn Hill, like Bob Marley, like other Sizzler, like Buju Banton, you know, man, following and embracing. But what really had her in a pause, even though she had a loss, but what really had her, like what really, like, you know, was didn't have that full confidence until she bucked this Royal King, is because is because more than it's like her daddy, her father is one of the he was very instrumental. He's a pastor. She's a PK, a preacher's kid.
Okay.
Her father is like he is a pastor, reverend, is a reverend, and he's one of the man who write the pledge for the Bahamas. You know,
Wow.
we have the anthem and the pledge, and he write the Bahamas song. You know, so at that time she had a great footstep to follow. You know, so yeah, so she, you know, but then like when we buck, and then we started to reason, and you know, and then like, you know, she see my liberty and my life, and then it makes sense because this was done a part she was on, but she didn't really had that full like
Guidance.
access
Yes.
there now, you know what I mean? So, you know, so then she embraced the trot, start trotting, and you know, and we here now, you know.
How did her father view the eye when she brought the eye home? Big preacher
Yeah,
on the island, big
yeah, that's another story. Yeah, you
thing
know,
on
I
the
mean,
Congo
her
man.
father, I ain't gonna tell no lie. Her
Yeah.
father, God bless his soul, because he's still living, and her mother,
Yes.
they never, like, me and them never no engage it, and no conversation said that they don't like me or they or nothing. They never say nothing, nothing negative to me, because they, you know, they was, you know, like Christian type people and everything, right? But you can see like some of the reaction, like they looks, you know what I mean? They looks like the Rastaman, like that. the Rasta, you know what I mean? But you know, like when like you know the fathers them love their daughters. So I guess if that's what daughter bring, then you have to accept it as you know what I mean, because they love their daughter. So it was like that, you know. But then after a while, when they get to learn me and get to like learn me and get to know me better and see my liberty and you know they get to see and then they get to see their daughter liberty in like she Rasta putting in problems like how it was told of Rastas or Rasta got your daughter on drugs or your son on drugs or Rasta could do this or Rasta could do no, it wasn't like that. And then you know the daughter more spiritually inclined, uh, being more productive in community outreach because sometimes he could tell his daughter yeah or his daughter a part of this or his daughter doing this or we doing that within the community, you know what I mean? So you can see that it's very instrumental and you know what I mean and she very respected because she was on Cowboy Radio. She was too talking on Rastafari, you know what I mean? So
Okay.
you know they had these things too, you know? Because people caught, oh well, Reverend, I hear your daughter on the radio, you know what I mean? So yeah, so it was
So
like
they could see that it was a
yeah,
progressive
very
progressive.
positive, you know what I mean? Yeah. So
This is a Rastafari love story. We have to celebrate our families, people. We have 18 people watching live. The Lion Pride, hundreds more will watch this when we put it up on the channel. We have to celebrate our Rastafari love because our families are not doing the best. We have too many single mothers and too many single fathers in Rastafari liberty around the world. We have to celebrate the family. So this is why you see Iman asking these questions. If the item agree with I and you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we are rebuilding. We are building of Zion. That's what we talk about here. So I want to ask I want to jump into the topic because the sister Marie, she's in New York. Sister Marie Pierre, big up yourself. She Black as Sound. I want to touch on the topic for today. How does the eyesight repatriation in terms of Bahamas? Is Bahamas your lifetime paradise or does the eye desire to return to Africa? What's the eye sound on repatriation?
a must. It's a must. Now you see? Yes, I my
Okay.
brother, okay. So me personally, right? Me
Yes.
personally, I okay. Me personally at the point of time, like I did do like you know like smoke being like I say being a part of gang and then smoking herb, you know what I mean? That's the only part. Other than that, you know if when I young I get locked up with herb more than once. So getting locked up with this herb, just go on your record for like 6 years. So imagine I get locked up once, I get locked up twice, I get locked up 3 times, I get locked up 4 times. I say, what man, I need to go nowhere no more. I ain't even try it, you know what I mean? But now come the Rastafari right now. So I wasn't interested in going nowhere no more because I know I couldn't go like America or that place where I
Because
need
of the law. Because of the law.
because the law. Because I need visa, I need this and my bleeds, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah,
saying I
yeah.
ain't trying. So but coming to Rastafari right now, and then learning of Rastafari and learning at this in our home, Ethiopia is our home. That's a must. And I'd encourage any Rasta that if they could repatriate, to repatriate because Ethiopia calling us, we need us right now in Ethiopia. They need us. So he said, and not just in Ethiopia, because see, at that time, His Majesty opened up the gateway to Ethiopia to call us home. You say saying because as when His Majesty came forward over here to the rest and seeing that how the response was as as Rastafari and the people who respond them. So he built a relationship with Jamaica and the different Caribbeans and the different world and open up Ethiopia to them and give us a home and Shashamani that we could come forward. So that was always sell out there, that was put out there as Rasta that okay, Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, or Shashamani. You see, they say, see, east, west, north, and south is ours because right now, different from in them days, you get Rasta everywhere in Africa. And all they did is calling us home. They tell us the land right there and it's bountiful, just near I and I. And one, you don't believe this? We always had a saying, me and my brethren and the brethren in the Bahamas, we always say, Zion and Zion tell I and I reach. You see what I say?
Okay,
So, yeah, man.
controversial. That's very controversial because Rastafari load up in Africa right now, and they're saying, you know, they're not waiting for I and I anymore in the West. You know what I mean? They're saying
No, because they can't see because naturally because come on, Quasi. It's a long time now. See, when I was talking about the uprising then and them time. We saying that and that was the Ethiopia the place, but then them time it was like I said, different from the law, I would have been gone a long time.
okay,
But I still right now that my I get free up now. I free up now. I getting free up now.
okay,
Now I getting my passport and all of that. I getting ready to travel.
okay. Give thanks, give thanks. So
But
there's
hold on, but I ain't finished. But like I said that, yeah man, I will tell the sister that if she in Ethiopia right now, that don't worry man, don't fret herself, you know. Rasta coming, you know. Rasta waking up and we coming and we recognizing that, yeah man, we have to leave Babylon, we have to leave this part and come home and help strengthen and build, you know. Yeah man, Rastafari.
I'm putting forward up the sister statement because she said that I and I need to follow His Majesty teaching to build up countries where I and I reside before repatriating to Africa. How do I feel about that sound? Do you think that we need to build up Bahamas before we repatriate? How do I feel about that sound? Because this is very important.
Okay, naturally, with an overstanding, yes, that man, okay. Okay, now, see, when she said that, right, and people hear that, I I could give a definition of what I get she said. Because I feel in some ways like that, this what I said, but repatriation must, but this is my understanding what she meant. She meant that okay, we can't say if we never build schools here, if we never build schools here, we never build uh, a serious social structure or control our social structure, control our cultural structure, control our economical structure here, where we is as Rasta. How we can go in Ethiopia and say we can control that there? So it's good for us to, as Rasta, where we get the numbers to come together and say that, okay, we need schools for our children, build schools so our children can get educated, so that we don't have to worry about Babylon teaching our children and educating them and putting things in their head. And then we say, oh, the system doesn't refine yet. No, we need homes. So what we do as Rastafari, we build community. We can strengthen Rastafari. Then we farm, there's food security, so we ain't got to depend on Babylon. Then what we do now, we could deal with our own clothing. You say, then we strengthen ourselves so that we don't have to wear what Babylon wearing. You say, then we can say we fully living off the grid as Rasta. That you see? Then we know what we going to Ethiopia for. You see they saying? Because we done empowered. You see they saying? We done empower ourselves here. So whatever we live here, for those who want to be here, they can keep this run. That's why we go forward and build something greater. That you see?
Yeah,
but
man.
if we don't have that knowledge here, then what we can over there, similar as in Africa, they say, and they call them people who come in with skills. What skills? Because then they're not coming a man who come just to smoke ganja, or a man who come just to talk, but oh, I want to be in Africa, or man, or this. No, they want a man who come to say, oh, you can teach. You know how to teach. You know how to carpentry. You know how to do. You know how to farm. You know how to do something. You have to do something. So I agree. We have to build up. But then she ain't mean to build up Babylon. No, we ain't building up Babylon. We building up Rastafari.
Important distinction. So we're building our own ecosystem here globally to connect. And I would say that I agree. Drop your comments. We have 18 people on the line. We're gonna make this an interactive reasoning family. Drop your comments. Let us have the reasoning about repatriation. How should we build here in the West before going home? Those who are in the lion pride know that I purchased land in Ghana. I go back and forth to the continent. I am one of those who are definitely on the front line of repatriation from a Rastafari perspective. But many people say, I don't need to go to Africa. I'm building here. I don't think that there has to be a war between the two positions, because I think we need ones here to hold firm, and build the economic engines here in the West, and we need ones at home to build over there. So definitely, Big up yourself, Sister Marie, for the perspective. Let me look at some of the other comments. I want to just hail up all of the Lion Pride in the place. Hail up Jamarco, Rastafari,
Yes,
I live.
yes, Rastario, my lord, big up. Hey, see the brethren right there who just here like night?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man, he is a brethren, Rastario. That's a Rasta brethren. He's very strengthful. He's very intellectual right now. He is one of brethren who came straight from the college to Rastafari.
Okay.
The College of the Bahamas. He was taking up architects. And him and three other brethren, Jaquino, Jamal, and Japal, they was brethren I back at the college when I used to move through, resident on Rastafari. And these brethren who like give me an open audience, and I reason with them, and they pick up the chart, and they start the work from the college. We had create an organization called the IRAS. As I said, and we did do a voice conference, a youth conference. We was young Rasta brethren, and we invited brethren from. That's how I get to know Michael Barnett. We invite Michael Barnett.
Okay.
We invited some other brethren. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
over here.
We have an interview with Dr. Barnett on the platform here that we interviewed him as well, and I know him for many years. Powerful brethren. Big up yourself, Ras Michael.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Undergraduate, and I got this last thing here. Undergraduate right there, right now. He is studying how to deal with Hemp Creek.
Okay.
So they said in Canada.
He's in the building.
Yeah, so big up yourself, Dario, you know. Yeah, man, and keep the wake moving, you know, Rastafari.
Yeah, man. We're gonna have to interview the brethren about the hempcrete because the building of Zion. We, you know, if people know, I did a song called "Plan for Peace," you know, and I sing about the hempcrete, you know, as a potential building material for even roads and things like that. So when we're building in Africa, we gotta think out the box, you know, outside of the box. And we know that the ganja is the healing of the nation, but also the hemp is part of how we can build, you know, because we want to build roads with no potholes, you know?
The industrial part, not good.
Roads that are resilient.
That's right.
You know, we know hemp extracts heavy metals from out the soil, certain things. And I see one of our top agriculturists, Ras Zola, big up yourself, you know.
That's right. Yes, Ras Zola. Yeah, man, that's Ras Zola from Guyana.
Yes.
Right. Rastafari. One love. Yeah, man, he's an instrumental brother in the farm, you know, food security, man.
Food security. He's part of the ITAR certification standard that we're working on. So we're working closely with Ras Zola. Win says highly high. Big up yourself.
Yes, my brother. Man,
all right. Live and reign. Model Cars 1589 says, I've been with my wife now for 15 years. 2 boys, 13 and 20. Blessed up, you know. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Model Car. We have to celebrate the eye. You know, the eye is
big up, my lad.
As a young Ras, that is the work, King. So I want to know what the work is. If maintaining that family, that's your resume. That shows, man, that you have leadership ability, that you're able to lead a black family. That's the revolution right now, King. So big up yourself. We're gonna talk about, because the Virgin asked for advice for young Ras, but we're not gonna touch that just quite yet. We're gonna be doing some other things. Let's see what Ras Latario have to say here. He said, I am an architectural technologist with a specialization in hempcrete construction. I live in Toronto now. Okay,
yes,
I grew up in Toronto.
Yourself,
Latario, I grew up in Toronto, so we have to talk. I grew up in a place called Scarborough, Ontario, you know, which is now part of the Greater Toronto. Big up yourself, but we definitely are gonna have to set up an interview to talk about the hempcrete, because this channel is all about the building of Zion, my brother. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe. I don't like to just talk about the history and, you know, in the past. My thing is that the best days for Rastafari are ahead of us, and that our generation, we're the generation that seek his face, Jamarcus.
Rastafari. Yes,
We were born after His Majesty disappeared.
yes,
So
yes.
I and I had to go seek His Majesty.
My Lord.
Our role is to
Yes,
stand on the shoulders of the elders who saw His Majesty, who set the foundation. But our role is to build the institutions that are going to create the alternative to Babylon. We are the generation of them that seek His face, that have to build and hempcrete, solar energy, geothermal, all of these things that, the technologies that are in balance with the earth and that are better for the planet. These are the things we're going to use to build this new heaven on earth reality. So big up yourself, Latario. I am so joyful. I hope that they subscribe so that we can keep this link, because this is mighty. And that's why this platform is so important, because we're rallying the troops right now, family. This is not,
yes, I.
we're rallying the troops. So people who didn't know about the eye works, and talk about what skills does the eye have, so that people know, what Jamarcus, what type of skills that the eye bringing to the table, King.
Yes, I. People say, yeah, man, I man, right now in Babylon Wakes, I man is a painter. I man do a little bit of carpentry, do a little bit of, I man like what you call a jack of all trade. I master all fully, but you know what I mean? But whatever is possible I have to do, but I master painting, landscaping. So I saying that's my joy. That's my passion. I feel more, you know what I mean? But whatever I have to do, I really do. And then my other joy is trying to see the Rastafari community established fully, like more time Babylon, like respect and protect I right, our constitutional rights by law. You say and I, like the see these things get pushed forward, you know what I mean, and see Rastafari advance to the highest, you know what I mean? So that's a part of the works what I take on to, my responsibility, Rastafari. And then I also is a father and a grandfather,
Okay. Young grandfather. How many children do I have?
I have like more, like you could say, it was 7 children, and I have 6 grand right now.
Okay, give thanks, mighty.
Yes,
blessings. We have 20 people. Make sure you hit the like button, people, because we're trying to send out the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel so we can build. This is the channel we're bringing the frontline warriors. Jamarcus has been on the front line in Bahamas as a youth priest in the Nyabinghi Order. Talk to us about your time as the in leadership with the All Mansion, the House of Rastafari. What was that organization? What is the mission, and what was the eye role with that vibration?
Yes, like what you were saying earlier, like how you say like this is the future, and like how we're looking in the future to see what Rasta could do and the growth of the future, and how we could be more instrumental and laying into it. Okay, that's what we, as an host of Rastafari, what we did is in host of Rastafari in 2012, we came together and we created, we had a 7 days conference to bring forward the All Mansion, which was actually really just, at the time was 3 mansions just in the Bahamas, which is the Nyabinghi, the Bobo Shanti, and the Kings of Kings missionary movement. And then it was like different little facets, you know what I mean? Little study groups and then would branch off, we say, from the different movements or mansions. So what we did is we had a 7 days, 7 night conference, and we had certain topics. And one of the topics was about unity, coming together as one, you know what I mean? To deal with creating our social, controlling our social, cultural, and economical structure. And because when the system approach as Rasta, they don't see no separation. They don't see Bingi, they don't see Bobo, they don't see Rastafari. So if we can't live as Rastafari among ourselves, then you know what I mean? What we show in the system. So what we did, we came together and we decided at least within the conference, before the conference, and you know, the sisters them, they got a joy coming together, actually. You know what I mean? Because before we came up, before the conference over, and we came up with the name of Host of Rastafari, right? The sisters them that done gather and they done create an organization with using her Royal Highness name. They call it ASWA. You see, they said African Sisters for All Women. You see, they said,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
They said,
mighty.
right. You know what I mean? So the sisters them that gather. So seeing the sisters them together from the different mansions, Bobo and Bengi, you see, they said, and the different study groups. So that just give us a joy. And so we came together, we created an organization called Host of Rastafari. Everyone knows the Rastafari. First, when it started off, I wasn't the chairman at that time or assistant chairman. The chairman at that time was Priest Blyden, and it was he was a representative from the of the Bubble House. And then we had the assistant chair was a representative from the Bingy House. His name was Bongo Ian. You say? So they were the chair and the assistant chair at that time. I was I was a part of the administrative body. So you said, yes, see it and move through. Then as of the departure of Bongo Ian from the Nyabinghi as being a representative from the Nyabinghi, then the brothers nominate I to be in the position. Then from being in the position of the chair along with Pete Blyden, what we did is we try to work on creating activities. That's what I was about. But on my part, how you asked me, but my part, we create activities throughout the community, try and confront the government on issues concerning Rastafari, like first we had constitutional matters, where which they didn't respect our constitutional rights. We had a situation with one of our first situation with a Rasta brethren, his princess was she was given a scholarship to go to school. She was very smart, you know what I mean? But the school where she was given a scholarship to go to, they did not want to accept her. She was a private school because of her locks. They told her that for her, they feel that when she come there with her locks, she will influence other children to grow their locks. You see what I'm saying? Which they couldn't put that on her. You see what I'm saying? So we feel that they was violating our constitutional rights. So what we did, we took that the government, and at that time they was having a constitutional reform. You see what I'm saying? So we went to that, and then that was one of our complaints, and then it wasn't going unrecognized, because in a part of the Constitution says that we have religious rights. You say said, and anything pertaining to your religious status or your religious right, you have rights too. You could change your religion, and you say said. So that she went the case, and she could have gone to the school. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So that was victory. So from then, like I say, then what we did is we tried to help the sisters them establish a school. The sisters them were working on a school, but unfortunately it didn't come forward the fruition. Still working on that. And
So this organization is still active?
Yes, it's still active.
Give thanks.
And right now the organization, we are trying to deal with, I know if you're familiar with right now, the government they just trying to say they recognizing the cannabis, and what they want to do is they want to legalize the medical aspect of the cannabis. And first they didn't want to recognize the religious part of our sacrament. Now but now they saying they giving us religious part, they recognizing the religious use, but yet they still having a clause on it. You see what they saying? Where which they still being unjust as Rasta. So we saying that still as a violation Diana rights. You see what I'm saying? So we still protesting against that, and we still trying to.
And this is a battle that's happening across the Caribbean There's some legislation that has just come down in Jamaica. We're going to cover that in the coming strongs. We'll have someone from Raga on this program to talk about what's happening in Jamaica. But across the Caribbean, cannabis-related, or ganja-related legislation is coming out. The sacramental use of the herb is being dealt with in different aspects. And we'll bring some attorneys, Rastafari attorneys on here to talk about it as well. So as I said, make sure you're subscribed to the platform because we're going to bring the fullness of the struggle that Rastafari is in an exciting place right now because everything that Rastafari told the world is coming to pass. You know what I mean? We talk about Gideon. We talk about the herb as the healing of the nation. We see now that herb, the sick people around the world advocated for the freeing of the herb. It wasn't even Rastafari voice that led to the freeing of the herb. It was the sick and the people who needed the medicine around the world led to the freedom. We talk about ital food. Now we're seeing, health become so prevalent. So many people with diabetes, kidney issue, hypertension, high blood pressure, and we're seeing that is the ital live that the Rastafari brethren told them from that time, become prominent. They've rebranded it as vegan and, it's processed, but we're showing now that ital is higher than vegan. We're getting ready to launch an ital standard as a Rastafari family. Again, we're going to bring you all of that here on the Lion Voice Network. Cutting edge things in terms of Rastafari family. But talk to us about what are some of the works that the Rastafari community has done. You named the lobbying the government on behalf of the sister to go to school. You talk about community programs that INDI Queen was doing. Tell the people who are not in Bahamas. We have a lot of Rastafari family watching right now. What are some of the works that the IDEM have done or achieved in the Bahamas? Because this is about connecting the dots. This is about bringing the family together across land and sea. So just share with us some of the works that the House of Rastafari, the Nyabinghi House, and the I have been doing in Rastafari name in the Bahamas.
Naturally. Well, just like I mentioned earlier on the ital liberty and the holistic diet, well, in the Bahamas, playing that came about through Rastafari. That is it because, playing people was eating the food and being obese, and then through Rastafari teaching them about the ital diet and the holistic health diet and how more time your food is your wealth and your health is your wealth, and just like I said, and teaching them how to live healthy and stop eating the meat, and just like I said, so you could see the result now. Plenty of people they change their diet, they eat more healthier, just like I said, and then more as a part of being host of Rastafari, it was times when we recognized that you have to reach out to the youth stem because then enough youth stem was getting a part of that gang violence. As I said, when the schools and everything, but then most of the youth stem, even like I say, growing up as a youth, you might have different conflict with your parents, and because sometimes you mightn't understand your parents or your parents mightn't understand you. But then you can reach out to the youth, to the brethren or the youth them in the community on the streets. So he said, and then enough youth them respect Rasta. So enough youth them is reach out to Rasta and listen to Rasta. That is it. So I and I them, like what we did is we had a book drive, and then we had a drive where we used to visit some schools in the community. One of the school what we visit was T.A. Thompson. That was like a high school, a senior school, and a junior school. They separated. They take it from grade 7 to 9 in the junior, and then they take it from 10, 11, 12 to senior. So T.A. Thompson was the junior part, and C.C. Sweden was the senior part. So what we did is we would go to the schools and reason with the youth them, to say and trying to be more progressive youths and be a model citizen, and what I mean, and know their culture, right? Because in schools, we know in school they don't have more African curriculum. They don't know. Youths don't know about Africa. Youths don't know about no Black King, His Imperial Majesty. Youths don't know about Marcus Garvey. Youths don't know about judgment, uh, uh, no African king, you should say. So he said, so what we did is we go into the schools and reason with some of the principals them that we could come in the school, but what they did, the first parents, they give us the bad youths. You know what I mean? They give us the youths like who they feel they got problem with. You know what I mean? Yeah, who they feel might be a problem to Rasta or you know what I mean? And they might have had to stop the program. You know what I mean? But it was very instrumental because then they got to see that these youths them they gravitate us and these youths them they didn't really right was reacting out like the class when we was at the school for now we been about a month. When we was there, the youth told me to be quiet because we had to go to school like once a week. The youth told me to be quiet, embracing Rasta, listen when we talk, and then we have a time for question and answers. They being reactive. They asking questions and being responded. And you say that, and then some of them even come to the camps. They ask, where is B? You know what I mean? That if they want to come forward and reason with us, they could come forward and reason with us. So some of them did. They did come to the camp, to the Nyabinghi camps, and was reasoning with us. You know what I mean? But like I say, that was one of the things. Then like differently, what we did is try like had different outreach. Like I say, we had different events like saying different things. Like we was the different times, celebration times, or Satan times, Satan things happening in the country. Like to say during election time or Satan different times when they try to bring like the gay vibes or you know, I mean not to say like that, but the rainbow coalition, different things like that. Yeah, so it's a time when I take the lead and we go on forward and be proactive on the street and we had like more times like a rally and talk more on these matters. Usually saying educate people, share with the grassroots community. And we had Satan different other organization with we solidarity with, like different grassroots communities. Uh what we like one time build a coalition with and did some events with, did some rallies and different things, and I mean build a relationship. Besides that, it's plenty like the Rastafari community at times is very be active and be instrumental through the years. You know what I mean? It did some work and make their presence known. Because I say until now, the people when things come up, the people be acting. I wonder what the Rasta could say with this or why we hand the Rasta because they use the Rastas responding. You know what I mean? The Satan situation, but right now, I am really looking at trying to strengthen our community and strengthen our self now and you say saying like try to rebuild our community and more be self-reliant within our self and building our social structure, uh
Are there
cultural
any
structure.
are there any collective economic programs that the House of Rastafari is undertaking?
Okay. Yeah, what we did, right, we have in mind we have in mind okay, we want to control our own money, right? So we have in mind it will be one day to be our goal is to have a credit union, a Rastafari credit union. So we looking to create a credit union, and what we did is differently. We trying to see if we could create a co-op, a cooperative. You say that become a cooperative, where at more time we could like create a business, a Rastafari business, where it could be run by Rasta and controlled by Rasta, operate by Rasta. You know what I mean? These are the things in the making right now. What we
Yes.
trying to do,
And,
guys.
and let us reason because business plans and these things, we have people in the community that are experts in these areas, so the item don't have to struggle by the item themselves. um
And
your brethren said
yeah,
that
I just gonna say just give down to Mickey because sometimes playing things be running through your mind.
yes, yes,
Yeah, and rather just yeah, like we also as just about the beginning this year, what we did is we was working on trying to create a Rastafari reparation committee. We're
okay,
gonna deal with Rastafari reparations. You say them because through what we did is we through our government, our prime minister, he was gonna be the head of the chairman of CARICOM for the 6 months. So CARICOM was coming here to have one of the conference you know. So what we did is we said that we want to address them. So what we did, we created a Rastafari Reparation Committee group, and we reached out to the international community from the Bahamas, and we was talking with ones sort of throughout the region about creating. I believe the I familiar with it because I didn't invite the I at a time.
Yes,
We are
yes, yes.
trying, we're trying to get the Rastafari, the finance to create our own reparation committee instead of just relying on CARICOM, because we recognize that CARICOM can address plenty of our viewers and our issues, because some of our viewers and our issues don't just deal with uh, the slaves or the descendants of the slave alone. We also deal with uh, addressing some of the neo-colonial slave masters, which is the brethren, our own brethren and sisters who take rule for the slave plantations when the slave masters slave and still oppressed today in them. You see they saying through the struggle, you know what I mean? Like the prime ministers them of these countries, and you see they
Yes.
said, yeah, the leaders them who
Issue of internal reparation for
right.
Rastafari.
You see they said, I see, I
Mm-hmm.
know. So that's just one of the things what we did as the host of Rastafari also through the region, you know, and it was
Very,
very instrumental too, you know.
very crucial. I'm looking at the time. If you can believe, we've gone 2 hours already. So
Rastafari.
so we're gonna seal out. This is gonna have to be part one, because there's so much to reason on. But I definitely do give thanks. I want to give the opportunity to share with the family how they can get in contact with the eye, how they can support the work in Bahamas, either with House of Rastafari, the Nyabinghi House. The eye can just let ones know how they can tap in to what the eye is doing, and strengthen what the eye is doing.
Yes, we have a Facebook. We have a give thumbs. We have a Facebook also Rastafari page. So you could go on Facebook and look us up. Host of Rastafari 242 Bahamas. And then also the Nyabinghi Theocracy Reign Order of the Nyabinghi. His Imperial Majesty Theocracy Reign Order of the Nyabinghi. We have a Facebook page too. So you can link us up on that. And then my personal contact is right now, I don't have a phone, but my members have a phone. So my personal contact would be 1242. That's the area code 807-6838, and that's where you could reach me personally, and we could have a reasoning. If any questions you want to ask, or you know what I mean, or
Yeah, man.
anything you want to share, then we could share also. You know what I mean.
I want to answer Model Car question. What advice do you have for young Rastafari brethren? The eye was very fiery now. Advice would you have for a young brethren who wants to find a queen and to have a family? How would you advise that brethren to move? What should that brethren be doing?
First of all, I advise the brethren first. Just put His Majesty first, right? Just put His Majesty first, you know, a Royal Highness first. And then, you know, like more times, you know, like I say, you have to clear up your doorstep before you clear up someone else, right? So just strengthen yourself as a Rasta man. I see, strengthen yourself in all aspects as the things which, you know, as a Rasta man, you should be self-reliant, having and more independent, as to say, well, you know, like, you know, like try to build your home, like I said, more be self-reliant, and, you know, having a trade or a job, keeping up in them cycles, because, you know, impress them. They look for security. They need security, but they're looking for a man. You know, so if you can't really provide, like if a man living with his mother and you know parents and thing, like, and you have a woman, then that's a serious thing. So I tell them, not use them, and they feel like I fighting them down. I was trying to show them that okay, when they talk about girlfriend and all them thing or impress, I show them okay, which I say, Emil, who you live with? They tell me say they live with their mother or their Grammy or somebody. I say, see that, then you're done getting wrong. And then I can tell you that you shouldn't price it. What you should focus on first is strengthening up yourself first. You say then because then I say if you want to strengthen up, I say the Bible teaches a whether man find a wife, a woman, he must leave mother and father's house, and they must build on their own. So they come together as one. So when you find a woman and you find a good thing, so you want to make sure to bring her in a home, which it could be your home, and then you want to be able to provide for her, which is because you might have a family, got a brother, say you have 2 children, that's is good. And more times, well, he be in a relationship. This is the same brother, say he be in a relationship for 15
Yes,
years,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, I so you don't have a empress and you don't have your youth stem. So the best thing, like I say, is like let His Majesty be your foundation, and you say saying, and you follow His Majesty teaching, and Empress man and respect your queen. You say hero, say them because they have a voice, and what I mean, and that's your strength. You say they saying, and then more times listen to your youths them too. You know what I mean? We all have expectations for our youths them. That's what I learned as being a father and growing up my youths. You know what I mean? Because like I say, I grew up 7, and all of them have different personalities, different. You know what I mean? So you have to learn them, know their personalities, learn to respect their opinions. The other guy you'll do for any others because they are you, they are family. You say, so I do, and when you and then provide time, because time is the most important thing with family. Because sometimes we tend to get carried away or spend plenty of time either by the camps or either this way or that way on the job or whatever that means. Spend the time with our family, you know what I mean? So,
Crucial. That's a crucial one.
right. So, you have to make sure you
Your
have
time.
family time.
Yeah,
They said, so
family
you
time
spend time
crucial.
with your family, as they said, and then reason with them, because then like a family to pray together, stay together. So if you want your family to stay within Rastafari, then you have to build that within them, within Rastafari. You all have to build that together. You see what I'm saying? And then more times that the next thing is you have to practice what you preach. That is, as a king man, you have to practice what you preach. Because you can't say one thing, then do the next thing, then be on the empress because she got to look at you as, yeah, well, you don't really say and do what you say. You see what I'm saying? So all these
Crucial.
things, so all these things is crucial, I know, and then like I say, trust and trust is a serious thing, and respecting your woman, your queen, yeah man, and you all talk. Like it's a serious thing, like it's a scripture in the Bible. It's a don't ever let sunset set on no reason, no bad reason or no bad agreements or which you have with your brethren or anything. The important things, you know what I mean? So that means if you're on your impress, you all ain't saying eye to eye or might be, don't be afraid to say you're wrong. And impress, listen to, you don't be afraid to say you're wrong too, because enough time the woman them is, you know what I mean? I ain't pushing that to blame on but I just say, So, because it's two ways,
It's hard for them to say sorry.
yeah, it's always a but, you know. So yeah, but it's balance, So yeah, and then so I see, then it's easy, it'll be easier that way because then the Lord would be our ears are it just be balanced. You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And then His Majesty it be a guiding, the guiding light, to lead
definitely.
you
And
toward the dark,
I talk about it on this channel. I say seek His Majesty first. Find your purpose. Once you identify the Almighty, find out what your talent is and your skill, how you can serve the Most High. You have to know your purpose before you can find your queen, because the queen is going to help you to achieve your
Rastafari.
purpose. So you won't even know what
Naturally.
kind of queen to get
Yes,
until
sir.
you know what your purpose is, because the queen have to fit into that mission.
Rastafari.
And I tell young brethren, never you in your life move in with a woman into her house or into her family house. That is a recipe for
No,
disaster.
Rastafari. Yes,
And you
sir.
see the brethren laughing because
Yes, sir.
the brethren know what I'm talking about. You see,
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of brethren make that
Right.
mistake. Make sure you have your economics ready, because a
Ready.
family costs
Naturally.
money.
Yes,
No
sir.
matter what, the sister them going
Naturally.
to look to you as the brethren to be a provider, or she's gonna
Naturally.
lose respect for the eye. So, we have a lot of brethren that, want to be stay-at-home moms and just stay home with the youth.
No, that ain't gonna work.
That ain't going to work, my
No,
brethren.
that ain't gonna work.
No.
Really.
It's easier for the sister and them right now in Babylon to make a big money with the job and to fit into the system.
Right.
But as a man, you have to figure out what your unique, again, skill. We're living with the internet. There's so many things you can do to make money right now, brethren and sistren. You have to be focused. And until you get your economics together, I wouldn't recommend you deal with any sistren on a
Naturally. And I get out this last thing. And
yes, sir. Yeah, man.
Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up like holding, like what they say. Because some woman, long time they had this thing say, Rastafari, like hold on a woman or hold body woman or whatever. No, don't get caught up in that. They're not like lie woman a space. If you see you have a powerful woman, don't be afraid of that lion. That's strength.
No.
I mean, you as a powerful man. That is because Jah give you what you is. He give you a balance. So if you powerful, if your woman powerful, I mean you powerful. So if you're a powerful brother, no, you got a powerful queen. So don't be afraid of that. You know what I mean? Allow it. Try raise it to the highest. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Recognize that she have a paper same way, Rastafari.
Crucial. So we're gonna wrap up, family. We have 15 people still on live with us. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, like, share out the content. We're bringing the frontline workers from around the world. Here I will be in St. Croix this time next strong. I'll be in St. Croix. We're gonna have a special. I haven't decided what content we're gonna use next strong, but we're gonna have some special St. Croix content next strong. So tune in. The Lion Voice is going on the road. Serious thing we are dealing with. So Model Car said, when I gave my life to Jah Rastafari, he gave me everything I need. I am an entrepreneur, motivational speaker. I went to prison at 18, got out at 29, being out of prison now for 16 years now. Give thanks, King.
Rastafari, my lad.
Give thanks for the overcoming. We had Queen Mother Moses here, who deals with the New York Prison Ministry. The organization that I sit on the board with, IDOR, we've had a long-standing connection with the prison ministry. We certify the chaplains for the New York State Prison Ministry, and we had a program in Maryland, courtesy of our past board member Ras Wayne Rose. So we've been working with the prisons. Big up IRAS down in Atlanta, who deals with the prison ministry down there. So we big up the brethren and sisters who have gone through the system, and the fact that the I is leading a family life since you came out of prison and really living Rastafari is a testament to the I, brethren. This is your home here on the Lion Pride. So welcome to the Lion Voice Network and to the Lion Pride. It's been an honor, Jah Marcus, to be on the platform.
Likewise.
Yeah, man. Block up your sound.
Yeah, man. Likewise, it's been an honor, and I give thanks to all the listeners, And yeah, man, like the brethren say, tune in to the Lion Voice, Lion Talk, Rastafari. Isaac.
Yes, sir. We're not stopping, family. Why we're not stopping? Because time has come for the lions to tell our own story.
And the lioness.
Yes, and the lioness. And the lioness.
Yes, good.
And the lioness.
My Lord.
Yes, good. For us to tell our own stories.
Rastafari.
Is the Lion Voice.
Rastafari.
Bless you.
Yeah. My Lord. Bless the love. Yes, I. Give talk.
Yeah, man. This is Danny Dreadlock telling you, say, the time has come for the lion story to be heard, Here, there, everywhere. Have no fear. The lion story. And this is the Lion Voice. Seeing production. Every time.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.